Manchester United have a Bournemouth duo, Tyler Adams and Alex Scott, together with West Ham's Matheus Fernandes in their sights as possible midfield recruits for this summer. Nottingham Forest's Elliot Anderson and Carlos Baleba at Brighton remain high up on United's list as well, with the club determined to keep their options open. Well, Manchester City have prioritised Anderson as a possible addition to their midfield, but the battle between the two Manchester clubs for a player valued at around £100 million is likely to drag in a number of other big European sides who have been impressed by the England international. OK, I'm going to put you on the spot here. If you were Manchester United boss, who would be your number one midfield target for this summer?
Oh, that's a really good question. I think some good candidates there. And you can see the glaring need for Man United to go and strengthen that midfield area, especially with them going into the Champions League, European football, which they didn't have this year. So I think they've been able to get away with it a little bit with the lack of depth. So they're going to have to definitely address that position. And I think for me, the number one candidate would be Elliot Anderson. I really like the way he's played, the way he's come on over the last couple of years. Came on the scene with Newcastle, now made himself a regular in the England squad as well. So he's definitely ready for that, what I would call maybe next step. So whether it's Man United, Man City, I think it's going to be very difficult for Nottingham Forest to keep hold of him. I think it's been terrific, great energy, really good technical ability as well. So someone I think is ready for that next step.
Yeah, God, there's definitely going to be a bit of a tug of war for him, isn't there? So we know that they want to bring this midfielder in this summer. Obviously, Casemiro will be leaving on a free. Inter Miami seem to be strong contenders to sign him. It almost feels like his form has improved since he said he was going. How big a loss will he be?
Yeah, I think it'd be a huge loss. You know, it was only a couple of years ago people were almost begging and trying to urge him to leave the club, but he's definitely, you know, he's a world-class player. He's not achieved and won the trophies that he's done for no reason. I've heard Michael Carrick say as well how big of an influence he's been around the dressing room, as a leader, as one of the senior players. So I think that he's been super important for that team. Obviously ready for a different kind of challenge in his career and his family, and good luck to him. Whatever he decides to do, Inter Miami sounds like a really nice option, so don't blame him for that one. But he'll be a huge loss. And on the pitch, off the pitch, and it's obviously an area that Man United will have to address.
You mentioned Carrick. Now, he's obviously led United to wins over Liverpool, Manchester City, Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea. What have you made of the way that the United players have played under him?
Really impressive. I think the job he's done, the players have obviously very, very much taken to him. He's a legend of the football club, and I think with, you know, what a bit of a genius stroke really by Man United. They probably haven't made too many great decisions over the years, but he's definitely one of them because he's commanded instant respect, adored by the fans. So the atmosphere around Old Trafford changed immediately after his appointment. So he's done a great job. I think his points per game is the highest out of anyone ever since he took over. So really, I'm not sure he can have a better case for his job or for the permanent job than he has done so far. And I think the players have taken to him, they've come up publicly, backed him, which is a really nice situation for everyone to be in.
Yeah, as you say, players coming out, Matheus Cunha was very strong in talking about how Carrick has kind of brought this Sir Alex Ferguson magic, uniting the players a little bit. Yeah, how important is that he's being publicly backed by this current squad?
I think really important. You can just see a change of dynamic around the whole football club. He's brought a lot of positivity within the players, given them a lot of confidence. They're performing. He's made so many good decisions. I think in terms of his team selection, he's always been really, really spot on. I think his appointments and his coaching staff have been great. Steve Holland, who's won at Chelsea and other clubs in the system, been with England for a long time, experienced man, knows what he's doing. Jonathan Woodgate, who's been a player at the highest level. So he's made really, really good decisions all around. But of course, Man United are ready to take that next step again, and that's to compete for trophies regularly, play in the Champions League, and that's going to bring a different kind of pressure next season.
Obviously, he took the job on this kind of short-term basis, which maybe doesn't have as much pressure, and perhaps could that have contributed to how well he's done? And if he was to be given the job more permanently, could things change?
Things could change. It will definitely be a different kind of pressure. Permanent boss or just, you know, the interim, as you say, is a different kind of pressure. And I think as well, expectations, good results are great, but they bring higher expectation. And the Manchester United fan base is always a fan base that wants the best. They have high expectations at all times. So the pressure is going to ramp up. And I think that's where his recruitment, because I think he'll get the job. I really do. I think they almost have to give it to him now. So he's going to have to recruit well, get ready-made players for the Premier League, and really be able to try and challenge on all four fronts next season.
Yeah, well, speaking of next season, we know it's going to be Champions League, and other than midfield, which we've discussed, where else do you think that they should strengthen?
I think that's the one thing, if you look at the Man United squad, the lack of depth is definitely something they need to address. Again, not having European football this year has been important for them, because I think that's been allowed them not to have to use as many players. I think centre half, a second goalkeeper, maybe even, maybe in the centre forward position as well.
Okay, so just a little bit of work to do.
Yeah, he's got a lot of work to do, I think, definitely.
Okay.
Develop that consistency this season. What do you feel is the sort of magic ingredient?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think is there any magic ingredient in the middle, but obviously, I think, as I said, I've played in different positions this season. I've adapted myself and my game to different things, to different ways of playing. And I think that made me learn more about the game of my teammates than my own game. And made me understand that, the difficulties they have, what type of movements I need to do to help them, what I need to do better in terms of helping the team in different situations of the game, when I have to speed the game up, when I need to slow it down. I think playing as one of the midfielders in the beginning with Ruben helped me a lot to understand the difficulties of the players that were behind me, but also to understand the people in front of me, what they should do to help me more, to when I have the ball, when I don't have the ball, the way I have to press, the way I need to help them in cover spaces. And I think that was very good for me, for my full understanding of the game, more on the midfield, but also from the defender's point of view, when they have to jump, if he's good, if he's not, if the space is too big, and that helps a lot.
That's interesting, because we're all watching you playing deeper and thinking, no, Bruno can't play there, he has to play higher. But it feels like it served a purpose of actually educating you in terms of what your player, like Casemiro and sort of Kobe Mainoo now, what they'll understand their roles. Is that how you feel?
Yeah, I think obviously when you play there, even being in a different formation, you kind of understand what it takes to be in that position, how much space they have to cover when you have players in front of you to try to go and press. Because obviously for me, when you play for a big club, you always want to be on the front foot, try to press high and everything, and not every time is possible. And then obviously when I play with Casemiro by my side, or even Kobe or Manu, I understand how difficult for them it is to cover the ground and everything, because not every player has the same capabilities of running and cover ground. Some of them are better in covering spaces, in reading the game, like the case of Casemiro. We can't ask and demand for Casemiro to go up and down the pitch so many times, because his game is more about to read the spaces and understanding when he has to press, when he has to slow it down and come back and help the back line. And for me, it was good to have that understanding of the players I have around me, what they need from me, in the point of view, I'm ahead of them, but I know they need my support, and helped me a lot to read the moments of the game differently, even knowing that playing in a different formation. Obviously, I think playing as I was playing with Ruben, I really enjoyed it a lot, because I was more on the ball. I touched more the ball. I could be more involved. I could break lines much more, to my tens, Mateos, Brian, Mason, Josh, whatever was there. I could break lines and make them play quicker and have the team on the front foot. Obviously with the wing backs was perfect to switch off play and everything. And I really enjoy it to play there. Then obviously I had many conversations with Ruben when he asked me to drop in the back line to try to make a 4 and to open up the spaces in the middle to make it big. But then I had also the responsibility on getting into the box. Yeah. But when you're building up and then trying to go up and down, you had to have legs to do that. And obviously he understood that I could do that, but obviously at the same time, sometimes it's not possible, that because you make the long pass and then you have to run 60 yards to get into the box, and it is difficult. But I really enjoyed it, and I really liked it the way I was playing under Ruben, because I thought I was getting more complete as a player.
You say you enjoyed it, but is this position that you're playing now under Michael Carrick the perfect position for you?
Yeah, it's probably, let's say that is the one that I can get the best out of me, because everyone knows my main skills will be the creation I have, the goal scoring ability, and all this last third thing. And I think that's my best qualities, and I'm aware of that. And I'm very good in the counter press when we lose the ball, and to be able to do the counter press, you need to be high on the pitch to be the first one to make a reaction and then help the other ones to like come with you and push. When you play a little bit deeper, you can have that, but normally you're the one that normally stays a little bit more like if they break the counter press, you need to run backwards. So you would lose a little bit of my game. I think, well, obviously in the last few years I've played more in that position than I actually played a little bit deeper. And I think, yeah, for the qualities, for my main qualities, or for the qualities, I think it comes most on me. The 10 is probably the one that I can help the most.
In a game that has been contaminated by sideways and backwards passing, you still seem to be the one player. There's maybe Cherki at Manchester City similar. There's a couple of players in the league that's still playing forward all the time, that are still looking for the sort of what would be furthest forward, most dangerous pass. How have you not caught the disease of sideways and backwards passing?
I don't even think about it, to be honest. Like, obviously, you want to be as more accurate as you can, but as you spoke about me and Cherki, we are in the midfielder the highest player on the field. So you have to take the risk because you're there for that. You are there to create something, to play the ball forward, to try to make the 3 guys in front of you, 2 guys, whatever you have, make them enjoy, make them have the ball, make them have the opportunity to go 1v1, to score, to then assist, to do things. We're there to help them to get the best out of them. It's always been the aim of a number 10 in the world of football, and that can change. Obviously, I know, like, then you're going to get criticism if you don't get passing accuracy very high and whatever, but I think it's always going to be players in the team that have to have that accuracy higher, and then it's going to be players in the team that have to have more chances created, or that, like, and then their accuracy is gonna go down because the pass is a risky pass, is the last pass, is the one that you either you miss it, you get right, and then you get a chance, or it's always half and half, let's say. And I think then players, like, people, like, they always say, like, wow, we want risky players, we want this flare back and everything, but then when players do that, you kind of like, oh, but he's losing the ball all the time and everything. So it's not going to ever be a balance there. Yeah. And I think us as a players, we just have to understand what's our qualities and what's our aim for the team around us. If Cherki stops with the things that he's very good at, like skills and going at players and having fun with the ball, as he says, and I really enjoy it watching him playing. If he stops with that, we're going to lose Cherki. The Premier League is not going to have Cherki playing his best football. And I think for the Premier League to become better, you need players like him to do different things. To be a player that you go to the stadium is like, oh, he's made a pass, and everyone goes like, oh. Like in the past, you had many players like this. Now you're having less and less because the manager wants to be more careful with the
methodical, maybe.
I don't know. Like they have like a way of playing different or whatever. Because if you go to the past, the Premier League was counter-attack, pace all over the pitch, like going up and down. The game was last night, some nights ago, we saw Champions League game between PSG and Bayern, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, this is football and everything." Yeah. And then you're gonna have managers like, I don't know, other type of manager will say, "I don't want to concede 4 goals and win 5-4. I want to win 1-0." And then it goes by the manager you have with you, goes by the players you have around you. But then I think everyone enjoys to see it. But on the other side, you're going to always have someone saying, yeah, but they did concede 4 goals. They scored 5, but concede 4. Like, come on, their defense needs to be better. and you can't get the best out of everything. But I really enjoy to see games like that.